What is going on, guys? Welcome into the R&R Studios for the Boys from the Wheel podcast. Talking NFL free agency today, and boy, do we have a lot to talk about. Guys, what the hell is going on in the NFL right
now? A lot of shit.
Yeah. Sean, you hit the nail on the head there, buddy.
Yeah. I just don't even know what to say about it. It's literally been insanity for the last, even though it really didn't start till Wednesday, literally for an entire almost 10 days.
Yeah, it's been insane. So the first big news that broke is, Aaron Rodgers getting that huge contract. And, about time he cried about it enough. I mean, Chris, I know you've been pretty vocal on that whole situation.
Yeah, I mean, it just came to a point, like, I understand everything that he's done, all the MVPs and everything, but yeah, I mean, he was essentially being a little prima donna about it. So I was kind of surprised that the situation came about to where he did get the big contract, but I'm sure we'll touch on it. But then Davante Adams leaves. Welcome to free agency. Welcome to the party, folks.
Yeah, in my opinion, there goes Aaron Rodgers MVP season potentially.
I mean, I that's a move that, like some of these other moves that we're going to talk about, that we did not see coming. I mean, it's one of those things that it's just gone.
I thought Chris there for a second was just over celebrating.
Chris, you're a little frozen there, buddy, but it looked like you were just like, yay!
Hey, thank you for welcoming me to the party.
Yeah, I had heard that. Well, I mean, I personally didn't hear it. I just read it that Aaron Rodgers going into signing this deal already knew that Adams was going to leave, and that's even more unbelievable that he would still sign that deal with nobody else to really throw to. I mean, I guess you got Cobb to throw to, and still a very good running back, but I don't know. I wouldn't retire if I was him.
But we honestly don't even know if that's entirely true or
not. No, true. It's true, but if
to the extent of them playing it off like he knew the entire time, I can't see him signing that contract if he knew the entire time that he was going to be gone. Because he was his cash cow. Let's be real, he was. It wasn't Valdez Scantling.
Then it kind of comes back down to the whole: does he really care? He's at his he's almost done. He just is signing his name on the dotted line for millions of dollars. It comes back to it all. It's all about money.
Yeah, I mean, is it even really about the football anymore? Exactly. Good point, Chuck.
Because there's been a shit ton of it thrown around in the last 5 days.
Oh, my goodness, craziness, trades happening, crazy trades happening. It's and Russell Wilson to the Broncos. What?
Yeah, that was the first big. That was a really first, because in my opinion, I thought honestly he was going to end up in Pittsburgh, but I was completely wrong.
So here's my thing: is the AFC West just having a fantasy draft on Madden and not inviting anybody else?
Yeah, I guess. I know, because look at the Chargers too. The Chargers got Khalil Mack too.
Yeah,
the entire West is, and I mean, granted, Kansas City signed Juju, but that's no big deal. But regardless, that entire division is going to be so much fun to watch next year. So much fun to watch. You might as well cancel the rest of the fucking season.
I mean, they need to send some of those teams over to the NFC, because I mean, the NFC doesn't stand a chance now. No. I mean, with craziness that has happened, people re-signing and signing big money contracts and things of that nature.
And the big money guys, the big playmaker guys, they're all leaving the NFC to go to the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how much of it is their own doing? Like being able to choose where they want to go,
kind of like Russell did,
or even Deshaun.
Yeah,
technically Deshaun too.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, do they want to be in the environment where it's more competitive?
Yeah,
and the NFC is just going to stay order.
True.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
And then Brady comes back. What the hell is that? What is going on?
What was it? 40 days?
I think he was in there washing the dishes in the kitchen and said, "Nope, I don't want to be here anymore. I want to go back to football."
Or him and Giselle got in a fight and said, "I can't be here all the
time." Yeah, so much for wanting to hang out with your kids for so long.
Yeah, I mean that's.
Hey man, he gets to hang out with them for 6 months.
Well, I'm just saying that was the whole thing. He said he wanted to spend more time with his family and the kids, but now it's just pretty much, all right, I spent enough time with you guys. Fuck you. I'm going back to play now.
Like I said,
He probably realized that 40 days was enough over the last 15 years, whatever. And he said, yeah, I got enough, and time to make more money.
I tell you what, I feel for the guy that bought his last fast football. Like
how would you fucking feel?
Oh my god!
How would you feel? 500 G's on a football that doesn't mean shit anymore.
The guy that sold it's like this.
It's like I washed my hands of that bad boy.
There was no guarantee on that shit.
Nope.
No, that football is as good as the 3 that we have in this room right now. I mean,
yes. That's like the football that JJ Watt threw to you in the stand while he was pregame warming up.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, that's insanity within, craziness. And if this is any indication of what the season's going to be like, all these moves that have been made, Jordan, your Titans made a big move without making a big move. Like, nobody's really talking about it, but I think it's a good move in the right direction. After Julio leaves, you guys get Robert Woods. I kind of like it.
Okay, so when it comes down to that, in my honest opinion, love Julio.
Shut up! Oh, sorry.
I don't know what the hell that was, but I'm going to continue. When it comes down to that whole situation, I knew Julio was going to be a 1 year guy. You know what? Hold on. Time out, audience. I need a moment. All right, I'm back.
I'm not entirely sure what that is. Sean is in Cleveland, so that could have been protesters. We'll get to that in a second. But anyway, continue.
Okay, going into last year when we got Julio, super excited. I knew he hadn't played a whole lot of the year prior. I thought giving up a 2 at the time was a little bit steep for an older guy, but he brought the experience and things like that. But excuse me, I knew he was a 1 year and done guy because of the cap hit we would have took this year. I mean, we were already so close to it regardless. I think it would have been close to it was over 10 mil. I think cap hit would have been. So when he got released, it wasn't a big deal. And then last night, I'm literally standing in my kitchen. My phone goes off and it says, Tennessee Titans trade for Robert Woods for a 6th-round draft pick. And I just started geeking out, dude. And my wife's like, what is the matter with you? I said, I'm just so happy. She really doesn't understand. But, I mean, Robert Woods, he's only 29.
Right.
Granted, he is coming off the ACL injury. I think it happened early November is when it happened. But great locker room guy. I mean, I was actually looking at an article that Vrabel had right before Tennessee played the Rams. Said he was a great locker room guy. He is a complete monster when it comes to run blocking on the edge, and he runs precise routes. When it comes to Tannehill, you have to run precise routes. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But I'm super excited about it. But that's just something little for my team that happened in this whole free agency thing. Oh, and forgot too, we picked up Austin Hooper from y'all.
You did end up signing him.
Yeah,
wow.
We did get Hooper.
Wow.
We didn't have a number 1 tight end. We got him.
Now you do.
It was yesterday.
Yeah.
Now we have one.
Yeah, it's debatable that he's the number 1 tight end.
Well,
all right.
Well, it all depends on how you utilize him. Now, he's going to be more of a blocker at Tennessee.
Which will work for, not that Henry needs blocking. But
well, that's true, too. But, yeah, we picked up Austin Hooper, we need a good tight end who can actually catch the ball when it's thrown to him. But that's just minuscule to everything else that has happened over the last 2 days. Actually,
go ahead.
We'll go to y'all.
Oh, I'm saving us for last because that's the biggest news of the week. But another thing that was made, and Chris, like you to talk about it, is the signing of Mitchell Trubisky for the Steelers.
Pittsburgh.
A guy that you know a lot about and have stuck up for here some as of late.
Yeah, and I mean, well, first thing I find it interesting that he's a Mentor, Ohio native. So
That's right.
that really makes things interesting going into enemy territory there. But yeah, he was somebody that I really, really liked when he was at the collegiate level, had a fantastic career down there, and hasn't really translated yet over to the NFL. And I think Pittsburgh's going to be one of the good systems for him because he's not a scrambling QB. He's the quarterback that likes to stick in the pocket, much like Big Ben was. The big question is, now the Steelers did go out and they got some offensive line help, but that's going to be the biggest question mark is are they going to give Trubisky enough time to get rid of the football? Because I really don't feel that he was the problem in Chicago. It was that offensive line. I mean, because Justin Fields is the same way. He's been scrambling for his life since he's been there.
Right.
If you're a Steelers fan, I think this is a good pickup. Is he the savior, the all go around? I don't think yet, but I think he is a better choice of what is in the draft this year, even that you could bring. And I just don't think this is going to be a good year for quarterbacks in the draft.
No, I think this is a less than 5-year move. I think he's going to be around for a little bit, and then if he doesn't do any good, honestly, they didn't spend a bunch of money on him, which is great for their cap space because, as John likes to say, they're in cap hell right now, and hopefully getting out of that soon. But I think it's a good move. I think somebody will sit behind him maybe in the next 2 to 3 years. They get somebody next year in the draft. But I think that's a decent landing spot for him. He's got a good running game. I think they need to pick up another running back to help out Najee because I feel like he's going to get a lot of the carries and he needs help. I mean, the way football is nowadays, it's a 2-back league.
Not just that. I mean, look how they utilize him. You're going to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're going to kill him. I mean, even when it came down to when preseason was starting, and he was playing in the fourth fucking quarter,
mm-hmm.
and I was talking to my buddy who's a huge Steeler fan. I was like, "You're going to kill him before the season even starts." You spent a first-round pick on a running back who is a great running back. He may not even make it through the whole year.
Yeah,
because you're just running. He catches the ball. He's literally your first, second, third, and fourth down back. Let's be real. You have to get a bigger guy to be your third down back, or somebody who can, just relieve him every once in a while.
Yeah, that's why I think they need to draft somebody in the second or third round. That's still really good rounds for running backs. Even in the fourth round, you can still grab somebody. But I feel like they need somebody, and that defense is good. I mean, defensive player of the year, obviously, on that side of the ball. But I feel like they're going to need some secondary help too. But we'll see. I mean, the NFL offseason is crazy, and it's still going on. So we'll
literally
see.
Just started.
Right, and that's this whole week feels like it's an entire season, but it's literally just been this week.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been absolutely crazy, I think, with just everything in free agency right now. And I mean, that's like Jordan said it best there. It's just begun. And I mean, you even look at some of the teams that are loading up now and really getting those spots. And I think that's another thing that, not all of us here on this podcast, but I think a lot of people are realizing, hey, we also still got a fucking NFL draft coming up here next month.
Right, right.
And I'm gonna switch to another team that I completely bashed throughout the entire playoffs and somehow made the fucking Super Bowl. The Cincinnati Bengals literally dumped their entire offensive line.
Right.
And literally went out and got an entire offensive line. And just signed La'el Collins today from Dallas.
Nice. Good pickup. I like it.
They literally have an entire decent offensive line now.
And they made it as far as they did with a horrible one. So
right. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah, that's
now just imagine what they're going to be with a decent one.
Yeah,
I hate talking about it.
Tennessee, but damn. The whole AFC North is going to be scary.
Yeah,
scary.
I mean, in all honesty, those two divisions don't even bring the South into this because that division's fucking trash. But the North and the West is going to be unreal. I mean, the North is going to be more of a black and blue division.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's what we are. We always are.
And the West is going to be more of a just high scoring, high flying kind of division.
Yeah, you're going to have to put points up to beat those divisions. I mean, that's going to be unreal. I mean, Denver's offense was fast to begin with, and now you get Russell Wilson in there feeding the ball to them. I mean, they're going to be.
And it's not like Russ doesn't have anybody to throw to. He's got Jerry Jeudy.
Right. Exactly. I mean, that's. It's one of those things. I mean, in Kansas City's Kansas City. I mean, that's, and then one of the biggest moves, Devontae Adams picks up and goes to Oakland, or not Oakland, but Vegas. Good God, to the Raiders, and just unbelievable. Now, Carr meets back up with his college.
Exactly, and they went back and looked at their stats from the last 2 years of college, and they were unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good football.
At least the AFC is going to be good football.
I think everybody's looking at what the Rams did and said, okay, we can do that. Like, we don't need draft picks. You know what I mean? I mean, shit. I mean, might as well get into it now. Sean R. Brown's the first round draft pick for the next 3 years. we said, we picked in, the early rounds so many times. Like, shit, we don't need that now. We're good.
I mean, I'm not too upset about it if in fact within those next 3 years we at the very least we're in the big game.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of those things. I mean, it's oh boy, a lot of things happened in Cleveland, and Sean, with you working up there, I'm sure you've heard a lot of things, and you've kind of gave us some insight on things that have been happening. But the first one, we'll talk about Amari Cooper coming to town. I mean, that's that's huge. That's a big receiver.
Yeah, with the departure of unfortunate departure of Landry, and then obviously OBJ last year, we needed that, high-profile wide receiver, somebody who can go deep. And the signing of Amari Cooper was exactly what I think a lot of Browns fans wanted to see. And following that, it was just a matter of who's going to throw him the football.
Right.
And we'll kind of lead into that in a second. But I'm still thinking that, with Amari Cooper, I mean, it makes our wide receiver. You're going to have him. You're going to have Donovan Peoples-Jones. You're going to have David Njoku for tight end. And then they went out and they signed Jakeem Grant, who's basically a glorified kick return, punt return. He can also catch the ball because he's quick.
Yeah.
But I still think they're missing one key thing, and I don't know how they're going to – one key addition to the roster for wide receiver. I don't know how they're going to get it now. But, I think we're pretty set, and I think Amari Cooper really turns that offensive around.
Well, they may have figured that out. They restructured Cooper's deal. There's $15 million sitting on the table right now. There's talks. They're back on the phone with Landry.
But you know who else is out there too? Cole Beasley.
It's true, but I think
I'd rather have Landry. I'd rather have Landry back than have Cole Beasley. As much as I do like Cole, I do. But Landry is one. He's just not good for, the game. He is good in the locker room.
Yep.
Which there's been a lot of shit in the past couple of years for the Browns, where you have to have a strong leadership in the locker room to get through the day-to-day. And that was very evident with OBJ, that did not work too well. But having Landry, I think, just turns things around. And he was slated to sign with the Falcons, as was Leonard Fournette, and that was only if Watson went to Atlanta. So with that obviously not happening, I would like to see them at least make a push for him. And I think at this point, you can at least give him a 1-year deal, maybe even a 2-year deal with what he was wanting. Yeah. And obviously with the departure of another no-name quarterback, that's going to happen relatively soon.
Yeah. So and then, they get rid of a major contract again with getting rid of the backup quarterback, which highest paid backup quarterback in the freaking league. I mean, that's insane. And then they go out and get Jacoby Brissett, which I don't mind. I mean, he's going to fit the new system.
Yeah, no, I think he can, if need be, which is likely, he can be the starter. And I think he's got legs. He can run, and that's going to obviously be the new and improved Browns offensive playbook, I think. I mean, because obviously you got, the number one guy, and then with him potentially sitting out for, however many games he does sit out, Jacoby comes in, he has an arm.
Yeah.
He does have an arm, and he has the legs to carry that offense, however many games he needs to carry it.
No, I mean, and that's, it's one of those things that we did get a draft pick back for Case Keenum, which is what we needed. We did give up a ton for Deshaun Watson, but I feel like eventually we're going to get some of that back. I mean, with them trading away Baker, which is coming soon, obviously.
Yeah.
I
think Baker's return is not going to give you, obviously, it's not going to give you 1. It's not going to give you a 2. I'm thinking, at the very least, it gives you a 2 for next year, maybe. And that's the thing that's stretching it. It just depends on how important it is for the team, like whether it's Saints, whether it's the Falcons, whether it's the Seahawks, whether it's the Colts, how important it is that they or how much they want Baker.
You don't think he's worth at least 1 first-round draft pick? At least
of
one?
This year?
No, I mean, of any – well, if next year, of anything. I mean, he's a first overall pick regardless of what you look at. I mean –
I think he's had 1 good season.
Yeah, but I mean okay.
I mean, I think he's had 1 good season. He does have some leadership capabilities, but I don't think that really translates to from on the field play, off the field shit that he does. I don't really think it translates too much into a team giving up a potential future whatever position for Baker Mayfield. I truly don't. Maybe it is a 2024 first round pick.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, here's my thing. So when he gets traded and he goes somewhere else, I believe he has a very good first season wherever he goes because he loves that underdog mentality. After that, he's not the underdog anymore. He's done. He won't produce. He won't do anything. He wasn't the underdog in the season that we went to the playoffs. So I mean, that's that.
One thing I think too, Jeff, that there's been a lot of talks with Deshaun Watson's former teammate Will Fuller too, to potentially fill that void in wide receiver as well. So it's also something else to consider. I mean, I know he had injury problems last year. I know he probably comes with a high price tag, but definitely don't count him out either as one of the, because the conversations have been happening. There's mutual interest on both sides there between the Browns and Will Fuller.
At one point, I thought that was Watson was going to take him with him.
Right.
Wherever he landed, Will Fuller was going to come with him.
I'll take Will Fuller. Yeah, he's a good too. Excellent too.
100%. Shit. I mean, he could be a number 1 wide receiver on almost any other team.
Yeah.
In this league, like that would be. I would take that in a second. I wouldn't think twice. And I think the Browns do have the money to do it.
That's a pretty good thing you brought up there, Chris. I like that. But yeah, I mean that's one of those things. I take it in a heartbeat. I mean, he played, second in Houston. Yeah, I mean he could be a 1 anywhere else. I agree.
Yeah, it's gonna. The whole city up here in the last 24 hours has been crazy. The night that it all went down, somebody hung up a sign over top of 90 eastbound, like I think it was 90 east, 90 west, doesn't really matter. But on the bridge it said "Fuck Watson." 22 women don't lie. There was a woman standing outside of Stefanski's house with a sign saying 22 women don't lie. And that's just the beginning. Like we all knew that this was going to happen regardless of whatever team he went to. So, and according to the Haslam's, they did their due justice and looked at him, and I guess they did not talk to any of the women, which I don't know why they would. But I guess we need to be prepared up here to where he is going to be suspended whether it's 4 games, whether it's 6 games, 8 games. I don't think he's suspended the whole season, just based off of last other shit that this league has done. But maybe Roger Goodell is going to make an example out of it. You never know. So,
well, I mean,
correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't he cleared of the criminal charges?
He was cleared of any criminal wrongdoing, yes. So now he is on to the civil portion of it. This is basically where he goes one-on-one with these women, no pun intended, and he basically fights them out of court. Is the way I understand it. He's not going to be in court with these women. So it's going to be, all right, I'm going to settle with you to shut your mouth kind of deal. That's the way that's
right. And I'm not like, and I'm not saying that all this is not true or anything like that. But I mean, it's just that's where sometimes I don't understand with the NFL. It's like okay, they've been proven innocent of wrongdoing. I mean, like I said, I'm not a judge. I'm not saying that they're right on either side. It's just the fact of the matter is he was cleared. I'm not saying he's innocent, but he was cleared in the court. That's just what I'm saying.
Correct. And it's where it's a little bit of confusing. Like it's very confusing on how this is going to pan out. First off, the NFL is still doing their separate total investigation.
Right.
So yeah, he's cleared of criminal wrongdoing. Maybe he gets away with he doesn't have to pay a cent to these women, and these women kind of just go away, so to speak. The NFL can still come out and say, well, you just represented this league inappropriately, and even though, you weren't charged, we're going to suspend you 4, 5, 6 games, whatever.
Right.
So it's like it really doesn't it really doesn't look good for him, I don't think. First and foremost, it doesn't look good for him at all.
Right.
You can put yourself into the situation. At most, he looks. He's a very weird guy. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
I don't know from everything that I've seen, but these women work in this place, and he visits this place. I don't know what went on behind doors, so I can't comment on that. But like, you shouldn't put yourself into a situation like that. That's my.
I 100% agree.
So it's going to be interesting. There's going to be a lot of upset people. For every fan that says, "Hey, glad he's here. Hope he can do good. Hope he can, change. And hopefully he can win us a Super Bowl." There's 15 other people that's saying he is disgusting. His organization's disgusting. I'm not watching the Browns play football again this year. But it's going to be interesting on game 1 in Cleveland to see all those stands or all those seats filled, because I think you will.
Right.
Regardless if he's playing.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. They're going to sell tickets regardless. I hate to say that, but it's going to happen. There's people who are going to fill the seats anyways. I mean, Cleveland loves their football regardless who's there.
This is the second time this podcast I've taken. Thank you, Sean.
What happened?
Can we go back to your comment?
No, let's move on.
When the civil suit starts, he's going to have to be one-on-one with his women, no pun intended.
Oh yeah, well, that's why I said what I said. I followed that up.
Make light of the situation. I like it.
Rendered speechless, Sean.
That's what I'm here for, buddy.
There you go. Well, guys, that pretty much wraps up NFL free agency. I mean, it's been insane, crazy. Well, it wraps up the week of this NFL free agency. I'm sure we'll have more craziness in the NCAA tournament happening, so we can definitely cover that next week. That's going to be insane. We're all going to be at a crazy ass hockey game this coming week. I can't wait. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, the ending of that Naylor game today seemed a little bit out of control.
Yeah, there's going to be,
according to DJ.
Was it 7-6 final?
It was, but I guess some shady shit happened at the end of that game. Oh, it had DJ fuming. Army broke a stick. a lot of the Nailers players were yelling at the referees. Both benches were yelling at each other. So next Friday is going to be entertaining.
I like it. It's going to be fun.
Especially with Bisnet being there.
I was going to say with Biz Nasty and in attendance, that's going to be pretty crazy.
Yeah, he takes off his street clothes and hops on the ice.
Well, hell yeah, I can believe it. Last time KZoo played in Wheeling, their coach got thrown out.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a lot of animosity going on right there.
Yeah,
Chris,
let's return hockey to what hockey should be, and that's beating the shit out of each other.
That's right.
Back to the finals year, that's how the fuck it was.
Yes, sir.
Nobody fucked with anybody on that finals team.
Absolutely not.
None of this bitch hockey where you can't touch somebody. Like, fuck them up, score goals, and do it again the next day.
Well, according to DJ, at the end of that game, it ended in overtime. There was a penalty call with 3 minutes left in overtime, and it was Patrick Watling having a 50-50 battle with one of the guys from Kalamazoo, and Watling was the faster guy, yet he got called for interference on the 50-50 puck battle.
Nice. Good times.
Then they lost in overtime.
I love it.
That's where everything went to shit.
Nice. Good times.
Okay, let's end this with fuck the rest in every fucking sport, because you can't clearly in the NCAA you can't dunk on anybody anymore without.
I saw that. I saw
it's
the guy from Houston. Was it Illinois got that technical?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Like I don't understand it. These refs are just they have an agenda from the beginning. Like it's fuck.
Hey, that's a good way to end it. Thank you, gentlemen. Thanks for hanging out. Chris, glad to have you back. Even if we can't have you in person, we got you on Zoom, which is good. But yeah, guys, we'll pick up again next week. We'll see you.
Peace.